on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. My name is Alan Robertson.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Randall.
And I'm Chuckalicious Chuck Williams.
Absolutely, and we are very much still firmly into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of election season across all levels, but especially when it comes to the local levels. We will have some conversations throughout today's show. But starting out first and foremost, we are joined today by our first guest. He is a candidate for the Randall County Sheriff position. Mr. Roger Short is joining us today. Roger, how are we doing today, sir?
Doing great this morning.
Mr. Short, I'm going to cut right to the chase. What are you bringing to the table if you're elected as the Randall County Sheriff? What am I going to see?
Well, you're going to see crime prevention programs come back that are not done anymore. The Neighborhood Watch, Business Watch, programs for our kids. I did the DARE program, brought it into Randall County for years, where we did drug abuse resistance education, and that's not being done anymore. I need to bring those back. The public and the kids, they need education. I brought in the SOBER program while I was there, the Sheriff's On-Beat Enforcement Remedy, where we went out and targeted underage drinking and those selling alcohol illegally to minors from stores around Amarillo Canyon and in the county. And it was a very, very good program. Those are not done anymore. All the programs that I brought into Randall County that were educational, that worked with our kids, that worked with our public, are gone, and they need to be brought back. And that's one of my main focuses, is to bring back education to the people of county and make that sheriff's office belong to the people of county again, and do what we can to help them stay safe. And there's so much with Neighborhood Watch. You've got all the housing developments all over the county. You don't see a Neighborhood Watch sign anywhere. The people don't know each other. They're not being brought together. And if we don't go back to education and working with the people, then we're just losing out. And the people are not going to benefit from having a sheriff's office that's responsible to them.
So all of that is very, very informational. What do you bring experience-wise to this platform?
38 years plus in law enforcement. I've worked here in Randall County and a little bit in Potter my whole career. I did 32 and a half years at Randall County, a year and a half when I first started at WT, and then 4 years and 3 months I worked to help Brian Thomas. When he was elected, I was his chief deputy to straighten out the mess that was left by the former sheriff, Mike Shoemate, and I think most of you remember that. But we were able to take care of Potter County and get them back on the right track. I spent 13 years on the Canyon ISD school board, so I know about school safety. I know about taking care of kids. I know what we need in Randall County to make it a better county. And that takes good leadership at the sheriff's office, and I'm able to provide that.
You know, I want to get a little bit more into that, as mentioned, as a board trustee with Canyon ISD, as mentioned, spending over a decade now, 13 years to be exact, being a board trustee there. When it comes to education, you know, you have all the issues that we've seen from a local and even far out type of case when it comes to schools, whether it be education, as mentioned, whether it be school safety, whether it be a multitude of different things that have been, you know, towards the forefront on a lot of levels. Talk a little bit more about just the importance of implementing those types of values, implementing those types of methods and new initiatives when it comes to education, especially from around the area.
You know, our kids are exposed to so much today, everything out there. And let me tell you a story about a young man named Kevin. He was in my house a few weeks ago demonstrating some medical equipment to my wife. And I introduced myself to him, and I said, "Where'd you go to school?" And he said, "Randall High." I said, "What about grade school?" He said, "I went to Lakeview." And I said, "Well, did you go through the DARE program?" And his eyes lit up, and he said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "I was DARE Student of the Year." He said, "When I went to Randall High, 2 weeks into Randall High, I was offered drugs. And I turned them down because of what I learned in the DARE program that y'all provided." And he said, "You know, my parents never ever talked to me about drugs or things that could hurt me." And he said, "I learned it through school, through the DARE program, learning about drugs and alcohol and things that can hurt these kids is so important, and giving them that information at an early age. And that's gone. I don't know what they're teaching in schools nowadays to help our kids defeat those problems as they're growing up and getting into junior high and high school. So it's really important that we bring those type of programs back. And I mean, there's just success story after success story. And I know we helped those kids when we were doing those. Well, why aren't we doing them now? Well, because no one at the sheriff's office has the passion to get back out there and bring those programs back that will work with our kids in our community. And I plan to do that.
So would you suggest that possibly drug and addiction programs be built into the school's curriculum? I mean, of course, that would be an extra class, but still, is it that important to you?
The substance abuse information that they get, it wasn't a lengthy program. It wasn't an everyday deal. Our care officer met with them like, and it was fifth grade, but they worked with all the way down to K through 4. I was talking to the mayor of Amarillo recently, and I did the Just Say No program, the very first one we did.
Right.
I delivered anti-drug books and coloring books to every kid in every school in Randall County, and this has been a long time ago. And he said, well, I went to school at Gene Howe, and I said, well, you did the Just Say No walk. And he said, yeah, I dressed up in the green shirt and everything because I led them every year. Donna Clopton, who was an awesome principal, kept that program. And every year they would, during Red Ribbon Week, I would lead those kids from Gene Howe all the way to Randall, and we'd sit out there on the lawn and just have a huge gathering and get the kids stirred up and excited about saying no to drugs. And they kept that program for years. And even the mayor of Amarillo went through, had opportunity to see that. But that, I don't know if they still do that. Donna has since retired. I've not been in that loop for a little bit, but I know we need that sort of thing with our kids.